Hi, I'm Bill Burt, and this is ETTV, Burt Talks Sports. I'm here with, well, I'll tell you what, this seems like a session that's going on for a few months. It's really been going on a couple of weeks. Jeff Nelson, a scout with the Utah Jazz. We're talking basketball. We talked throughout the particular Lakers series, which the Lakers won 4-3, Jeff. And now we're here with the postmortems. Looking pretty comfortable here. Him in his Jazz shirt, me in our golf
Summertime.
shirt. Summer's here. So let's talk about the future of the team. I'm going to throw a few names out. You tell me what you think. The first one, Doc Rivers.
Well, certainly I'd love to see Doc come back, but based on what I hear and my information, I'm sure he's going to leave to spend some time with his family. He's got a lot of sons that are seniors in college and high school, daughter in college that's a senior, so it all fits. I think he needs to take a little sabbatical like teachers do sometimes.
All right, let's go to some players on the team. Well, in fact, you talk coaching. How about replacing him? Who would you go to?
I think the leading candidate is Kevin McHale, close relationship with Danny Ainge, former Celtics, understands the tradition and what it takes. A guy like Lawrence Frank, coached the Nets, did a great job with them, has a tremendous work ethic, which they're really interested in, and a guy that's a trusted, loyal assistant with the Celtics, Ahmad Hill, will get some consideration as well.
Speaking of assistants, a lot of people ask me, Tom Thibodeau gets the job with Chicago. Why didn't he hang around? Why wouldn't he be the obvious candidate? He's been here for 3 years, knows the players.
I think they want somebody that has a little bit more of a bubbly personality, somebody that can work with the media. Tom's an all business type of guy. He's an X and O guy. He's old school kind of coach, and I think in Boston you need someone that can work with the media. It's a very, very, based on the newspapers, the televisions, you have to have somebody that really can spend the time doing that.
Ray Allen, he's a free agent, unrestricted, could go wherever he wants. Obviously, he's near the end. He's a Hall of Famer, but he could add value to a team that's looking for a shooter. I don't know if he's going to get the money he's hoping to get. It looks like it's a 50-50 shot. What do you think?
Of the big three, he's the one in the best shape and the one that still has some game left. I think Kevin Garnett's on his way down. Paul Pierce, is at the end of his line too. But if I was the Celtics, I would do my best to sign him. But I'm sure they're going to stick to a price. And if Ray wants more, then the Celtics are willing to offer. I'm sure they'll go in a different direction.
I think the best news I heard at the post-game press conference after Game 7 from Doc Rivers was I think Rasheed Wallace is going to retire. Good news, because I don't think the new coach is going to want to inherit that. He did add value in the playoffs. We've got to give him credit. It still wasn't what we thought it was going to be back when they signed him. What are your thoughts on him? And
I don't think Rasheed's going to retire. I don't think he's going to leave $12 million on the table. They could buy him out. That's probably the direction that they'll go. Probably buy him out, give him some money, and go in a different direction. Because I don't think Rasheed wants to come back and play 2 more years of that season.
Paul Pierce has an option to leave. He has 2 years left. It's going to average about $20 million for 2 years. 1 year. Is it 1 year of $20 million? Sorry.
Yep.
Garnett has 2. It just seems like he's the, if we're going to pick a guy to retire as a Celtic, it would be him. But he still might say, I have 3 years left. Your thoughts on Paul?
I think that they've scheduled a meeting with him after the draft. His player option is June 30th, so I think they'll try to restructure and maybe come up with a new deal here for 2 or 3 years, try to extend him out, let him retire as Celtic, restructure that deal. Maybe he might get 3 years at $35, $36 million instead of 1 year at $20 million.
Mike Muldoon had a column in the Eagle-Tribune on Sunday, and it's interesting. How about going for 1 more year with the big three, and then maybe adding that Rasheed Wallace guy, whoever he is.
Sure.
Big Baby's probably going to, we could say, maybe be a little better next year. Rondo's Rondo, and maybe a couple of the moving parts, probably at guard, and Tony Allen. We've got to figure that situation out. An option, I know last year we've talked about the big three hanging around the first big three a little too long.
I think you got 2 options here. You got keep the big three and keep it going, which I would believe
for at least 1 year.
At least 1 year. Or blow it all up and, maybe bring in some different bodies and let Pierce go and let Ray Allen go and start fresh. But I think the best thing to do is the Celtics to try to figure out how to get Coach Rivers back for 1 more year and get Ray Allen re-signed, Paul Pierce restructured, and give it 1 more try.
Yeah, I will say, I think going back to the beginning of the season, they were talking 70 wins. They basically set us up for the disappointment. But I got to tell you, it was a great playoff run, and it was exciting.
Tremendous. The Celtics way overachieved. They played tremendous basketball. They played hard. Credit to their coaches. But their players really stepped up when they needed them the most, and I thought they did a great job of defending Cleveland and Orlando and taking them out of their game.
The draft is this Thursday.
Yep.
They're drafting 19th. I'm not going to go through a draft board here. Obviously, they drafted around the 21st, so you can't just throw it away. That pick normally is going to be typically an average player at best.
Sure.
Any thoughts on that pick?
Well, I think the Kendrick Perkins injury now makes it a little bit different. I think they might have been going for a guard, a wing player, somebody that could come off the bench, a backup point guard. And now I think that with Perkins out and Rasheed possibly retiring, they're probably going to have to get a big body in there to help out Garnett and help those guys, big baby inside. So I would venture to say they're going to go big and just based on the injury.
Jeff, we might have to bring you back in the baseball season. I've heard about your baseball team in Haverhill. You're making hay already.
Well, we got some good players, and we've done a good job. And kids work hard in the summertime, for sure.
Behind every great coach is greater players.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And
Okay,
maybe we'll get you in a little more, maybe after the draft. We'll see. We're not going to make any commitments, but we might have in because it's been great all season, and I appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks for watching ETTV.